10 News is brought to you in high definition exclusively by Harper Auto Square. You are watching WBIR TV, Channel 10, Knoxville. The news starts now.
A family's heartache.
I miss him.
Tragedy in Knoxville as gang violence takes the life of a 12-year-old boy.
This is a second innocent young person in our community that has had their life ended by senseless violence.
How the community is hoping for change.
Try our best to bring love where there's so much hatred.
And what law enforcement is doing to end the violence.
This has got to end.
Plus, a fire in Sevier County burning cabins and causing evacuations. What crews are doing to contain it. And another fire in Harriman destroys an apartment building, taking one life and leaving families without homes.
Don't take but just a few minutes for a fire to destroy what people have worked for all their life.
The 10 News Night Beat starts now. Tragedy has struck a Knoxville family for the second time in 4 months as they grieve the loss of another young man. Good evening and thanks for watching. I'm Kendall Morris. Now the search is on for the person who shot and killed 12-year-old Juwan Latham. Police say he was shot in the head while in an SUV with his father. Latham was the cousin of Xavion Dobson, who was killed while shielding friends from a gang-related shooting in December. That shooting happened on Moses Avenue near Danny Mayfield Park around 9:45 last night. Both Juwan and his father had just been to a basketball tournament in honor of Juwan's cousin Xavion Dobson. Tonight, an emotional gathering to honor the life of 12-year-old Juwan Latham. The community came together at Danny Mayfield Park, where police say Latham was shot and killed last night in a gang-related shooting. We turn now to 10 News reporter Rashad Hardnett. And Rashad, you spoke to community leaders out there who say enough is enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying, Kendall. You know, this is not the first time they've been here. A lot of people here are, of course, remembering the last time Xavion Dobson was killed. And so that's why a lot of them came wearing T-shirts honoring him as well as Juwan. If I step out of the way, you can see we still do have burning candles here honoring Juwan's life, and they are burning bright. As the sun set on Danny Mayfield Park, silence and stillness filled the air. More than 100 people, all united by one common thread, an innocent life taken far too soon.
Because this is somebody's child, it hit me personally because it took me back to my own tragedy.
Mildred Westfield is a pastor of the All Consuming Fire Christian Center. For her and two of her friends, tonight's vigil brought back a familiar pain. They each lost a child themselves.
So that impacted me each time that I hear of a child, or for that matter, a young man, a young girl, being taken way before their time, way before. Jesus loves the little children.
It was a sentiment echoed tonight by the dozens who showed up. Some didn't know Juwan personally, while others arrived in custom-made shirts honoring his life, all ready to take a stand against gang violence.
That was what you heard all throughout the crowd. I know something needs to be done. We don't know exactly what, but something.
Through tonight's tears and embraces, they're walking away with one resolve.
Never give up on the community. Never give up on the young people. Never, never.
A lot of hugs, a lot of tears tonight, Kendall, but this is the beginning of recovery for this community. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you for all of your reporting tonight, Rashad. Certainly a sad night for people here in Knoxville. Well, the night Hubert Latham lost his son began as a father-son bonding night. WBIR 10 News reporter Brittany Bates spoke with Juwan's father this afternoon and told her how a 3-minute pit stop changed countless lives forever.
You know, we had a good time. He got to meet Allen Iverson. You know, he got to meet Bobby Mays and a couple other guys that played for UT.
Hubert Latham took his son, Juwan Latham, to the Bobby Mays celebrity basketball game on Saturday night. The game honored Juwan's cousin, Xavion Dobson, who he saw as an idol. The two shared a love of sports.
But he's a good person, man. He really liked to smile. He smiled a lot, you know, play games. No, like basketball.
Latham and his son went to the Mechanicsville neighborhood to pick up friends before heading to the movies. But it's there that a 3-minute pit stop changed his life.
All I heard was gunshots. I looked in the back to make sure my son was okay. And I realized he wasn't moving or saying nothing, so I picked him up. And I seen blood, and all I did was, I rushed him to UT Hospital.
Doctors told Latham a high-risk surgery was needed to save his son.
Can you please save my son? He just had a death in the family, the same way. Can you please just save him for me?
Juwan passed away in surgery, leaving his family heartbroken and looking for answers.
I'm just wishing for justice. It's the best thing. That's what I want for my son.
The Lathams are turning to their faith during this unimaginable time and are asking the community for help to make sure this senseless violence doesn't tear apart another family.
Stop the violence, man. I lost someone. Ain't no coming back.
Hubert Latham says his son's death was completely avoidable. He doesn't know who pulled the trigger or why, but he's asking anyone who was there that night to report any information to the Knoxville Police Department. Now, Juwan's death comes at a time when a community is still recovering from the death of his cousin, Zavion Dobson. We spoke with community leaders who knew the families of both Juwan and Zavion and say this second tragedy comes with feelings of both anger and sadness.
This was another good guy, innocent guy in the community that this happened to, that became a victim of these circumstances.
12-year-old Juwan Latham, an innocent bystander in what police are calling a senseless act of violence. Police say the Bearden middle schooler went to the Bobby Mays celebrity basketball game last night, a benefit for the family of Zavion Dobson.
He's a very nice guy, nice family, so it's not like this was a negative guy in the community.
Soon after the game, police lights would surround Danny Mayfield Park, where Latham was shot sitting in the back of his dad's SUV, a shooting that is now shaking the community.
When I heard about it, I was just sad and just cried, just disheartening. My heart is fractured, and I think our community is fractured over it.
Already, there's an outpouring of messages on social media showing the heartbreak of a community dealing with yet another loss.
When a family is going through such a time as this, all you can do is, number one, we pray for that family.
And try our best to bring love where there's so much hatred.
Our coverage continues online right now, where we have the police news conference from today. There you'll also find a full list of organizations in our area to help young people. That's all on WBIR.com. And we will continue to follow this story on our website and right here on Channel 10. Tomorrow morning, grief counselors will be at Bearden Middle School to help students. We turn now to the Sevier County brush fire that has burned hundreds of acres. So far, 5 cabins have been destroyed and the fire spread to the woods off Memory Way. 10 homes were evacuated this afternoon as crews work to get the fire under control. 10 News anchor Aaron Wright is in Sevier County, where tonight officials say the fire is contained. Aaron?
Kendall, good evening. More than 150 acres were burned today. 20 structures evacuated, and still tonight many roads are closed. It's been a long day for emergency responders, but folks here in Sevier County say they are thankful for all the efforts to keep people safe.
We went up to the top, and the fire was coming in so fast that the people were piling in behind us, and we decided we better get out of there.
1:50 this afternoon, emergency responders got the call for a structure fire on Bluff Mountain. 13 departments responded, working late into the evening. U.S. Forest Service planes and helicopters worked to attack the fire from the sky. On the ground, many first responders helped evacuate homes in the area.
So we had multiple agencies up here working together to get people out. I don't have any reports of any incidents or delays.
Many structures on Bluff Mountain are cabins, but until the fire is out, officials won't know for sure. But in the meantime, area rental companies are helping those in need.
The cabin companies are helping to relocate those that are being evacuated from their cabins.
For folks in this area, it's a sad day knowing their neighbors are hurting and in need.
They lost everything and they got to build it back up again.
But it's also a time to take action, like this man joining arms with an area volunteer fire department to help out.
Where we took rakes and raked old leaves away to where they don't jump. Plus took hoses and sprayed down cabins and the brush that is around it so it didn't spread.
Again, area firefighters are still up on Bluff Mountain. They'll be working through the night. More firefighters will be joining them at sunrise tomorrow morning. Reporting in Sevier County, Aaron Wright. Kendall, back to you.
Thanks, Aaron. Aaron Wright reporting in Sevier County on that fire. Well, a separate overnight fire in Harriman has left one woman dead and several buildings destroyed. The fire happened just shortly after 2 on Saturday morning. Units from Harriman, Rockwood, Kingston, and Roane responded. They spent all day putting out hot spots. The fire was spread over several buildings, including a barbershop, laundromat, gas station, and hardware store and apartments.
There's a lot of people lost their homes here, and they lost everything. So I just feel real sad for them.
Several families were displaced, but just up the hill from the fire, a church dumped in to help.
We brought them all up here, and we give them blankets right then, you know, because we didn't know where they were going to go or anything. We served them a hot meal.
Instead of holding service this morning, Walnut Baptist served those in need. They are collecting donations to help the families affected by the fire. There is a need for furniture and household items. If you would like to donate, you can find that information on our website. TBI is now handling the investigation moving forward, and the cause is unknown at this time. And coming up, the Smoky Mountain Air Show is officially over. If you didn't get the chance to see the high-flying performances in person, stick around to find out how you can see highlights from the 2-day event. And today's weather was perfect to get up and enjoy a day outdoors, and Kite Festival organizers couldn't be happier. More on the success of this year's event after the break.
And more on unseasonably warm weather that will be returning for your Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Beautiful but very warm. Meanwhile, it's snowing in feet in the Colorado Rockies. Can you believe that? What a contrast. I'll be back with your week ahead forecast next.